Today in maths, we started looking at a game called Buzz, Bop, Bang. Now, so that we could do that, first of all, we started off by skip counting in twos. So we skip counted in twos all the way to 100. So when you skip counting in twos, you start with 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. And you carry on skip counting all the way to 100. Okay, so we've skip counted all the way to 100. Then what we did is we looked at those numbers and we talked about what could you see that was the same about all of them. And we had some good suggestions. I think it was Matua said that all of them in the ones place ended with 2, 4, 6, 8 or 10. And someone else said that all of those numbers that we'd shown on the hundreds board were even numbers. So then we started talking about these things called even numbers. So when we were talking about it, we decided that even numbers are numbers that you can divide, that you could break in half or divide in half. Even numbers divide in half. And they're even numbers if you can add doubles together to get lots of them. So we figured out that we could add 3 plus 3, which was 6. We could add 2 plus 2 to make 4. We could add all sorts of doubles and that sort of thing. But the most important thing about even numbers is that they can be divided in half, which makes sense. So then all of the multiples of 2 are even numbers, and they can all be divided in half. So the word multiple means that the word multiple, Mrs. Bridewell's getting her words tangled up, means that if two numbers are multiplied together, the answer will be one of these numbers if it's a multiple of 2. Okay, so then we looked at the multiples of 5 so that we could play our game. Okay. Now, Mrs. Bridewell was trying to figure out how to shrink her writing. Whoopsie, not like that. I think I need to do that and then do that. The kids showed me the other day, but inevitably Mrs. Bridewell can never remember these things when she needs to. It wasn't there. Now I've got a random dot in the middle. Okay, so let's go back here. The yellow dot ones are all for my 2 times tables. So then we started and we skip counted in 5s. Okay, so it goes 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. So we've skipped counted all the way to 100. And we can see that all the multiples of 5, so all the ones where we skip counted in 5s, they all end either with a 5 in the ones column or a 0 in a ones column. And we could also see that some of them were multiples of 2 and 5. So all the ones that end with 0 could be a multiple of 2 and it could be a multiple of 5. All the ones that end in 5 are odd numbers. That means that they're not even. They can't be divided equally in half. But some of the ones that are multiples of both can be. So that's the information we needed before we could start playing our game. So when we play the game Buzz, Bop, Bang, if the number is a multiple of 2, we say buzz. If the number is a multiple of if the number is a multiple of 5, we say bop. If the number is a multiple of 2 and 5, we say bang. So when we play this game, we stand in a big circle, and the first person starts with number 1. And so if I was playing this in a group, each kid would one by one say their number. If it's a multiple of 2, they say buzz. If it's a multiple of 5, they say bop. And if it's a multiple of both 2 and 5, they say bang. So this is what it would sound like if everyone got the answer right. It would go 1 buzz, 3 buzz, bop, buzz, 7 buzz, 9 bang, 11 buzz, 13 buzz, bop, buzz, 17, buzz, 19, bang, and you'd carry on playing until either someone says the wrong thing, remembering that you're not allowed to say the multiples of 2 or 5, or both, or until maybe you got to 100. So if you were clever enough to get to 100, you could then turn around and do the same thing backwards, which would be pretty tricky, and that's probably what we're aiming towards in class. So that is how you'd play buzz, bop, bang. You could play it with a partner, you could play it at home with your whānau, you could play it anywhere really, but it's quite a good way of learning about those multiples of 2 and 5. Thanks.